So hello guys, I'm Coriander and welcome back to a new video in which we will talk about conditionals. So first of all, what are conditionals in Java? So for understanding that part, let us look at this. Here we have what are conditionals in Java. Conditional statements Java, like all other programming languages, it is equipped with special statements that allow us to check a condition and execute certain parts of code depending on whether the condition is true or false. Such statements are called conditional and are a form of composite statement. Now, this was the official definition, and if you ask me to tell it in simple words, so listen to me attentively. Like we have problems in our life while taking decisions, Java also have problems while taking decisions. So for that, some people thought that it would be a great idea to provide conditionals. So conditional statements are the statements which provides a pathway. Okay, they provide a pathway to execute some commands, or we can say some piece of code on a specific expression. Now, these conditionals can be of four types. And what are the four types? These four types are if else if ladder, and switch. Okay, so we will look at them one by one. First is if then. So this if then and the if statement is same, so you don't need to worry. The if then statement is the most basic of all the control flow statements. It tells your program to execute a certain section of code only if a particular test evaluates to true. Okay, so what was till this line? The thing which was till this line was that this is an if statement and here is the expression. Now this expression must return a boolean value. Okay, in this bracket, or we can say parenthesis, will be a boolean returning expression, and in the boolean returning expression, if the expression returns us a true, the loop body, oh, did I say loop body? I was wrong. The conditional statement body gets executed. Now this is the body in this case. Let us look at this. Int I equals to 50. This is our code. Okay, if I is less than 50. Okay, so let us make it less 30. Okay, now what just happened here is this, that int I equals to 30, we declared I as 30, and then we applied a conditional statement which states that if I is less than 50, you have to print UR plus the value of I. So until the value is less than 50, it will execute this. Now, what if the value is greater than 50? What if I say it is 300? Okay, quite a big value. It will execute nothing because it has nothing to execute. We have just included the if clause in the code. Okay, and here we experience a need, or we can say we realize that we have a need of a second path. Okay, and the second pathway's need is fulfilled by the if then else statement. So it is in continuation of the if then statement, if I put it simply. So what is it? The if then else statement provides a secondary path of execution when it if clause evaluates to false, and that's what I said. If the if clause evaluates to false, it means that if the boolean expression in that case gives us false, the we can say else clause will be executed. So the code written in the else clause will be executed, and let me show you it here. It will not execute if the value is greater than 50 in this case, but we have to execute the value, oh e, not e, 330. We have the value 330, but we have to execute something to say that this is not right. input. Okay, now this is not the right input. And if I say control plus s and then I just uh, run this program, and here we have this printed. This is not right input. So, not stretching the topic, I would like to tell you that if in this clause, if the statement, or we can say this expression, returns us a true value or true, this will be executed. This much code will be executed, which is written in the curly braces. If the if is not true, or we can say the expression written in the if statement is not true, then else will come into place and else will take the initiative. Okay, now I have a question, and you must have a question too, that can we have multiple if statements? And answer to that question is yeah, we surely can have multiple if statements here. Okay, but yeah, we cannot have multiple else. We will write here that is good. I know that I'm writing random stuff here, but don't care about that. Okay, so let us change the input here, and here we will write it as this. Yeah, you are 30, this is good. Sorry, that is good. That doesn't matter. The thing which matters is that here we have an if statement, here we have another if statement. So in the if statement, I is less than 50, and in this statement, I is less than 40. So both these statements have the expressions which are true. So what will happen? It is simply guessed that both the statements will be executed, or we can say the code written in both the statements will be executed. And there is no need of else here then. Okay, but yeah, else is needed to handle such cases in which if statement is proved to be false, so else is also important. The point I'm trying to make it is that multiple if statements can be executed if all the if statements which we are talking about are correct, or we can say gives a boolean true. Okay, actually I'm emphasizing on boolean true because the true can also be of string type, but that is not the case. When we talk about true, we usually talk about our boolean true. Okay, here we have an else if ladder. Okay, so now the point which I made clear about if statements, that if the multiple if statements are true, then we will get output from that, from all the if statements, will make more sense if we will explain this else if. Both are not the same. Okay, both can be used in some cases, but there's a difference which does not allow us to use them easily in most of the programs. Now, why I'm stopping again and again while talking? I'm doing so because I have to comment this all out. And yeah, here we have age else if. Scan and enter your age. I think I just printed it here. Yeah, int age. We will remove it here from here. Control plus X. Oh, okay. I clicked on Control plus Z 2 times, and I will not do that again. Let's write it here, or we can say print it here. Now, the point is that In this code, we have age as a variable which is inputted by the keyboard. It is a user inputted value. And here we have some cases. If age is greater than 100, print wow. If age is greater than 90, print less wow. If age is greater than 80, uh, print amazing. Now you might have guessed that if the age is greater than 100, it will automatically be greater than 90 and 80 also. So shouldn't this also be executed if it is like if? And that's where the difference between the if and else if comes in place. Okay. So if I say that my age is 111, it will print wow. Why is it not printing this and this also? Because when we talk about a else if ladder, here, this is an else if ladder, okay? Then we have an if statement here, and in the end we have an else statement, and in between we have else if, and that's why we call it an else if ladder. And one more point, that is the age is greater than 90 here and the age is greater than 80 here. These three cases will be considered as different cases. Okay, what I'm trying to say, as you have seen that the same case in if would have performed a little bit differently, but in the else if ladder, what happens is a cursor goes from here and it sees, oh, here's an if statement, what is the expression, and it analyzes the expression and it says, okay, so the expression is true, so it prints this, or it executes the code written in here. Okay, the code can also contain something else. It is not necessary that it prints a statement, it can also call a method or do anything else. Okay, now consider a second case. If our cursor goes like this and reaches here and says, okay, else if the if part was false and the expression written here is true. Okay, so I will execute this code written in the else if, first else if. Okay, and that happens again and again when the cursor moves in his way. Okay, it's not the cursor actually, but I was just explaining you, so don't take too don't take it too seriously. Now let us write here 90 also. It's writing amazing because 90 is greater than 80, of course, so it will write amazing. And I think that this much code is clear and I don't need to explain it again. Okay, else control plus Z. Okay, and I think I've done here something. And what? I do know, but there's no point in making it clear now. Come and take it out as early as possible. And yeah, here is the if statement. Let us execute this also and write 90 here so that there is no doubt left. I know it will take some time, but yeah, doubts should be cleared. Okay, enter your age 90. Amazing. Here we have this. The age is 90. So it should print wow. Why is it so? 90. Age is greater than 90. It should print less wow. I think there might be some problem here. Right click and run 90. Amazing. It is writing amazing here again. Okay, now I understood it, I think. So yeah, it will print amazing because when we write 90, the age 90 is not greater than 90, so this case is false, this case is also false, then this case comes up and this case will be executed. So if I say that we have a case which is true in all the if statements, which is greater than 100. If I say that age is greater than 100, age is greater than 90 also, and age is greater than 80 also, so these three statements will be executed. And that is the difference between the if and else if. And I think there should be no doubt till now. And if there is a doubt, you can repeat the video. There's no harm in repeating the video, okay? Now, let us come to switch statements. Mhm. Yeah, Control plus Z. And wait a second, I have to write something here. And I needed to write it here just right now because I thought I would forget it. Now, here's the switch statement, okay? Closing this. Here we have a switch statement, and we will read the Java docs of it too. Unlike if then and if then else statements, the switch statements can have a number of possible execution paths. A switch works with a byte short char, and you can read these data types. I'm not wasting time in this. Okay, we have several data types which switch statement can take as parameters here, and here it has given a sample code which I have also written here, and we will look at that sample code. But let us look at this. A statement in the switch block can be labeled with one or more case or default labels. The switch statement evaluates the expression, then executes all statements that follow the matching cases labels. Sorry, case labels. Now, what does that mean? It means that, look here, this is the syntax. Okay, this is the syntax of a switch statement in which we write switch. Okay, there seems some problem here. Okay, yeah. So, what is it? What is the syntax? The syntax is, first we write switch, and here we write the parameter. Note that this parameter cannot be only one data type. It can be either string, or we say boolean, or we can say integer, as we studied there. It can be any primitive data type here. Okay, but for this case we have an int data type, which is a primitive data type. So let's move forward. Here we have several cases. We write it like that, the case 10. Here 10 is the value of age. Okay, 10 is the value of age, so it is trying to say if the value of age is 10, which is case 10, then I will print this, which is I am 10 years old. And here is a break statement which will break this. And then it is saying that case 20, if the age is 20, then I will print I am 20 years old. And it goes on like this only, and until it reaches to default. In default, all those values comes of age which are not mentioned in the cases. Okay, so if I say that 45, I will enter 45 here, that my age is 45, it will print that this is the default value. Okay, because this is the default case. Anything or we can say any case which is not in here will be treated as a default, or it will go in the default state, default clause. Not stretching it further, we will run this and see what happens. Enter your age. If I say 10, and then I say my age is 20, it will print I'm 20 years old. Sorry, I debugged it. Well, let us run it. If I say my age is 30, it will print I am 30 years old, and it will do the same for 40 also. It will print I'm 40 years old. But what if we write 50? What if we write 50? This case is not mentioned in here, so it will do go in the default. Okay, the cases which are not mentioned here will go in the default. Okay, and it will print this is the default value. Now you might be thinking that in some cases we can use switch statements and the else if ladder interchangeably, and yeah, it's right. But the main difference between the if then else, or we can say we are comparing it with else if ladder. The main difference between the two is that the else if ladder not only considers the logical expressions and equality, but sorry, I said it wrong. It not only considers equality, but it also considers logical expressions. But in the case of switch statements, you can see here we cannot write an expression. We have to write a case. We have to write a value here. Okay, it takes a value. It doesn't want it only searches for equality. If I say it looks that if the age is equal to this, we will perform this case. If the age is equal to this parameter, we will perform this case. It does not look at the expression, and there is no option of expression also. Okay, so yeah, and I think this much part is clear. And one more thing to tell about switch statements, that we have an enhanced switch statement also, which is written like this. So in IntelliJ IDEA, you can do this also. The yellow bulb comes when you click on switch, and then you have to click on the yellow bulb, and then you have to click on enhance switch case, and you can look, the code representation is quite good here. And that was it for today, and I hope you enjoyed the video. And here's an announcement for the next video. In the next video, I am planning a small project based on the topics which we have studied till now, and I promise it won't be that hard, but it will be interesting. Okay, so don't miss that video, and till then, bye bye.
To see you